Hello, boys and girls. This is Ms. Coville, and this lesson is for all 5th grade students at Bethune Elementary. In today's lesson, I will be teaching on converting measurement units. This is lesson 21 from your iReady packet, and this will be for all of Ms. Coville's class and Mr. Moore's class. The standard we will be covering is MGSE5 MD1, and that says to convert among different size standard measurement units. Mass, weight, length, time, etc. within a given measurement system, customary and metric. For example, convert 5 centimeters to 0.05 meters, and use these conversions in solving multi-step real-world problems. Some vocabulary that you might find in this lesson will be gallon, cups, quarts, pints, meter, kilometer, millimeter, ounce, pound, and convert. Be sure that you take time to press pause and write down all notes and work in your packet and or a blank sheet of paper. So let's get started. All right, boys and girls, let's get started. So we're going to study the example problem showing how to convert between meters and centimeters. Then we're going to solve problems 1 through 11. So the example that we have asks us, how many centimeters are in 4 meters? So we see here that we have a meter stick, and this meter stick represents 1 meter. And it shows us that 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeters. So we see within this meter stick is broken into centimeters. So there are 100 centimeters in this 1 meter. So it tells us that you can multiply by 100 to find how many centimeters are in 4 meters. So we would multiply 4 times 100, which gives us 400. So there are 400 centimeters in 4 meters. So question 1 asks us, which is the smaller unit, meter or centimeter? Press pause and write your answer in the space in your packet or on a scrap piece of paper. All right, so you should have answered centimeter is the smaller unit. Now if we look at our anchor chart to the right, we know that meter is going to be our base unit. So our base unit is right here in the middle of our staircase. So our staircase goes from the largest unit of measurement, kilo, to the smallest unit of measurement, milli. So if we use our staircase to compare which one is smaller or greater or larger, our base unit is meter and it's in the center, and centi is below it. So it is a smaller unit of measurement. So centimeter will be your answer for question 1. Now question 2 says, how can you find how many centimeters are in 5 meters? Take this time to think of what your answer would be. Press pause, work it out on your packet, and write your answer in the space provided. So your answer should state you can multiply 5 meters by 100 to find the number of centimeters. So if you looked at the example, our example tells us that you can multiply by 100 to find how many centimeters are in any meter. So we have 5 meters. So we're going to multiply 5 meters by 100 to find the number of centimeters. Now if we were to look at our anchor chart over here to the right, we see that our meters are in the middle, which is our base unit. So if we're looking for the amount of centimeters, if we follow our green arrows down the stairs, we see that this is 100, 100, this is... Now we can also use our anchor chart to the right to help us solve this problem as well. We know that our unit is meters, and we have 5 meters. Now, if we follow the green arrows down the stairs, we see that each green arrow tells us to multiply times 10. So if we go down 1 step, that's times 10. If we go down the next step to centimeters, that's 10 times 10 is 100. So that means I'm going to multiply 100, whatever our meters are, by 100 to get down here to centimeters. So question 3 asks us, how many centimeters are in 5 meters? So let's work it out. So we know that we must multiply 5 times 100. And we should know that 5 times 100 is what, boys and girls? 500. Now the simplest way for us to do that is to simply multiply 5 times 1. 5 times 1 is 5. And how many zeros do we have at the end of 100? we have 2 zeros, so we add those 2 zeros to our answer. So 500 is our answer. Now question 4 says complete the table. So we have a table of meters. And we see in our table that 1 meter represents 100 centimeters. 2 meters represents 200 centimeters. 3 meters represents 300 centimeters. Let me think to myself, what pattern do I see? So I see that for every 1 meter, it increases by 100. My amount of centimeters increases by 100. So therefore, I know if I want to complete this pattern, 5 meters would equal to 500 centimeters. 6 meters would equal to 600 centimeters. 7 meters would equal to 700 centimeters. Let's pause and complete the rest of the table on your own. So your answers should look as such: 500, 600, 700, 800. Write an expression that shows how to convert any number of meters to centimeters. You will use M to stand for the number of meters. So at this time, you're going to press pause and you're going to write the expression that you would use to convert any number of meters to centimeters. Do that at this time. So the answer that you should have written would be M times 100. That expression will tell us how many centimeters are in meters. The M represents the number of meters that you've been given, and 100 stands for that there are 100 centimeters for every 1 meter. Question 6. Use the expression you wrote in problem 5 to find the number of centimeters in 9 meters. So let's write this expression out. So if we're going to use the expression M times 100, our M for question 6 will be 9. 9 will be our M. So we're going to write 9, and we're going to do 9 times 100. And that will be our expression. Make sure you're writing this down in your packet or on a scratch piece of paper. So 9 times 100 will equal 900, boys and girls, because we know 9 times 1 is 9. And then we have 2 zeros at the end, so we're going to add those 2 zeros to our solution. And you always put your unit of measurement that you converted it to at the end of your answer. So our answer is 900 centimeters because we converted meters to centimeters. Make sure you're writing this down in your packet and or piece of scratch paper. Question 7 asks us to fill in the table to show how many milliliters are in the number of liters shown. So liters is going to be our base unit. So our base unit, if we look at our anchor chart, is right here. Now we're converting liters to milliliters. So that means I need to go down 1, 2, 3 stairs. So let's complete our table together. So if I'm following the pattern that I identified, that means for every 5 liters, there are 5,000 milliliters. For every 6 liters, there is 6,000 milliliters. For every 7 liters, there are 7,000 milliliters. And for every 8 liters, there are 8,000 milliliters. Make sure you're writing this down, boys and girls, in your packet or on scratch paper. Write an equation to describe the relationship between each pair of numbers in the table. So think to yourself and press pause. Write an equation to describe the relationship between each pair of numbers in the table. Do so at this time. So the equation that you should have written will be L times 1,000 equals milliliters. So this L represents our liters. So we know that we are given the amount of liters that we want to convert. So we're converting our liters to milliliters. So we know that for every 1 liter is equivalent to 1,000 milliliters. So you're going to multiply L times 1,000, and that will give us the amount of milliliters. And ml is the abbreviation for milliliters. Now let's move on to question 9. Use the equation you wrote in problem 8 to answer the below question. How many milliliters are in 9 liters? Question 10. Jack's bicycle has a mass of 9 kilograms. What is the mass of Jack's bicycle in grams? So this question is asking us to convert 9 kilograms to grams. So let's look at our anchor chart to the right. So our base unit is going to be grams, and that's going to go right here. Now we're converting kilograms to grams. Kilograms will go up top at the top of our staircase because our prefix is kilo, which are just a measurement of unit measurement. And in order for me to get from kilograms to grams, I must go down the stairs 1, 2, 3 times. So that means I'm following my green arrows, and I'm going to do 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000. So I know that I'm going to multiply the amount of kilograms that I've been given by 1,000 in order for me to find out how many grams Jack's bicycle weighs. So let's go ahead and press pause and work that out on your own in the space provided. So your equation should be 9 times 1,000 equals 9,000 grams. So again, make sure the unit that we're converting it to, you always put that in your answer, 9,000 grams. Let's move on to question 11. We're going to add problem 10. Jack's little sister has a tricycle that has a mass of 7 kilograms. How much greater is the mass of Jack's bicycle in grams than his sister's tricycle? So when I see this problem, I'm going to think to myself, this sounds like this is a two-step problem. So the first thing that I must do is I must convert Jack's sister's tricycle from 7 kilograms to grams. So go ahead and press pause and do that on your own. So the answer you should have gotten was 7,000 grams. So you take 7 times 1,000 and you get 7,000. And again, make sure you put your measurement that you're converting it to at the end. So now we have identified how many grams Jack's sister's tricycle weighs. So now the second part of our question says, how much greater is the mass of Jack's bicycle in grams than his sister's tricycle? Now mass is just a key term to ask us the weight of it. So we need to find how much greater is Jack's bicycle. So we know that Jack's bicycle is 9,000 grams. And we need to find out how much greater is his bicycle than his sister's bicycle. So that means we're going to subtract 9,000 minus 7,000. And 9 minus 7, boys and girls, is what? 2. So 9 minus 7 is 2. And how many zeros do we have at the end? We have 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros. So that means that Jack's bicycle is 2,000 grams more than his sister's tricycle. So let's write that out in a complete sentence. So if we were to write this in a complete sentence, our answer would say Jack's bicycle is 2,000 grams greater than his sister's tricycle. Again, boys and girls, make sure you write down all your work in your packet and or a blank piece of paper.